Hello, friend! Welcome to the Pink Cloud Studio. Today, I am going to walk you through my whole week of creating from my DIY art supply advent calendar. So, we're going to go from day 6 to day 12. So, it's going to be a long one. So, please feel free to put me in the background and grab some warm drink and just enjoy the ride. Okay, you will see me struggle. You will see me succeed with some of the drawings that I made. But overall, I'm just learning a lot. And if you want to follow along on real time, I post shorts every single day. So I encourage you to watch them. Okay, let's begin. Here we are at day 6. I struggled a little to open the envelope, but the prompt was watercolor. It was very cold in the studio that day, so I decided to just cozy up in my living room, watch my favorite show, and have a relaxing watercolor session. At least that was the plan, because honestly, it didn't turn out as well as I thought it would. I started with this sketch, and I used this masking fluid pen, and yeah, it gave me way more frustration than satisfaction. I don't think I will be repurchasing it. I'm actually pretty sure I'm gonna give it away because it was horrible. If you have any recommendations for masking fluid pens, please let me know. I would love to try a different one. Here I'm adding the shadows to the tree, and then the struggle began. I struggled so much trying to remove the masking fluid. It was honestly a battle. You can see it here in this footage. It was just too much, and it left this sticky residue behind. It was really gross. Here I'm painting the tree skirt, but for some reason the colors just weren't vibrant enough. I don't know what was going on. Some days are just like that, you know. Some painting sessions are more frustrating than others, and this was definitely one of those days. I tried my best to fix it, because I didn't want to give up too early. I really wanted to try to save it. But look at that. That residue from the masking fluid pen is just horrible. At this point, I thought, you know what? Maybe some pearlescent watercolor will help. So I tried that, and nope, it didn't work. The color still looked muddy and dull. So I just called it quits and hoped for a better session next day. It's all part of the creative process. And honestly, sometimes that's all you can do. For day 7, the art supply was soft pastels. I wanted to continue with the Christmas theme, and I realized I hadn't used any of the soft pastels I owned. I bought them a while back and just never touched them. I mainly used Sennelier and Unison soft pastels. And surprisingly, this was a really enjoyable session. I love the way they blend. They're so smooth, and I also used my blending tools from when I bought the pan pastels, and they worked really well. I decided to go with a Christmas ornament, and I'm honestly very happy with the result. Soft pastels are messy, very messy. So I wore gloves because I didn't want pastel dust all over my hands. But they blend so beautifully that I will definitely be giving them another try. I actually feel like this might be a medium I'll use more often in my art practice. By the way, I've only used Unison, Sennelier, and Pan Pastel so far. If you have tried any other brands, let me know in the comments. How do they behave? Why do you like them? Because I'm really intrigued by this medium and I want to experiment more. This part right here, adding the little Christmas tree lights, was probably my favorite moment of the whole drawing. The way the pastel smudges and creates that glowing light effect, it was like a dream. I was genuinely amazed. This is the final result. Such a satisfying painting session. Moving on to day 8, the supply for this day was water-soluble markers, which is honestly a mouthful to say. Since I was still upset about the Christmas tree from a couple of days earlier, I wanted to compensate with this spread. I wanted something Christmassy but more vibrant and colorful. So I decided to paint a nutcracker. I had a reference in front of me, not a photo but an actual figurine that I had under my tree. I just grabbed it and drew from life. I'm okay with the result. I don't think it's bad, but I don't know if it's the paper or my lack of practice with this material. These markers have so much potential, and I don't feel like I took full advantage of that. I've seen artists do amazing things with water-soluble markers, and I just couldn't get there. So that's probably a sign that I need more practice, and maybe to watch a few tutorials. Here I'm doing the outline of the figure, and I'm also following a piece of advice an art friend left on one of my videos. They suggested trying a dark background to make the subject pop. Great idea. So I did that here using the Ecoline blue marker, and I don't know exactly what kind of impression it gives, but I really like the result. I finished it off with some gold details using gold acrylic ink. And this is the final result. I like it. I definitely like it more than the Christmas tree, and I think it's an improvement for this spread. For day 9, the art supply was charcoal. And I have to be honest, I hadn't used charcoal in about 5 or 6 years. I took a drawing class in college where we used charcoal almost exclusively. But once that class ended, I never touched it again. This was a good reminder, especially since it's somewhat similar to soft pastels. I enjoyed the experience, but I noticed something right away. I was doing this in my sketchbook, which is an art creations sketchbook. And if you're familiar with it, the paper is very smooth. There's no tooth at all. So the charcoal didn't really have anything to hold on to. That made it challenging because the paper just isn't designed for this material. It took more work than I remembered, but in the end, it worked out. Something else I remembered from that drawing class is that with charcoal, you really have to be careful with your highlights. When paper has tooth, charcoal stains very easily, so you need to preserve those lighter areas. Honestly, the most satisfying part of this entire drawing was using my electric eraser. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I bought it. It lifts the charcoal so smoothly, it works like a dream. That was hands down my favorite part. Here, I'm just adding the final touches, and there it is, the final result. For day 10, the prompt was paper art or paper cutting. This was by far the easiest art day, mostly because you don't need many supplies. I wanted to use colored papers that I already had, and I decided to go with an original design, a bird. I used a free reference photo from pastels.com, but the greenery in the background came entirely from my imagination. With paper cutting, you can go very intricate, but that takes time. Since I hadn't done it in a while, I wanted to simplify the design and make my life easier. After I finalized the design, I used it as a template to cut the colored paper with my X-Acto knife. I just cut away very slowly. It was such a relaxing session. I had my favorite show playing in the background, and I was just enjoying myself. And here it is, the first paper cut. Then I got the idea to put it in my sketchbook and do a positive negative version. I used the same template, traced it onto my sketchbook, cut it out, and added a yellow background. Basically, I cut the same design directly into one of my sketchbook pages. I added double-sided tape to the back, glued it in, and there you have it. I really like how it turned out. For day 11, the supply was graphite or water-soluble graphite. I had actually been avoiding this page because the markers from the previous day had bled through. I really didn't want to draw on it. But I had the idea to paint fruit to continue with the fruit theme in this spread, and I thought, you know what? Maybe the graphite will cover it. And for the most part, it did. Sometimes I do this. I don't always follow the traditional order in my sketchbook. I just draw wherever I feel like it. And here I am, once again, using my favorite eraser. And that's the result for day 11. Moving on to day 12, for some reason I couldn't find the footage of me opening the envelope, but the supply was acrylic paint. I decided to use my set of 12 shades of gray. They're beautiful, very pigmented colors. I bought them a while ago and had only used them once before. So this felt like the perfect opportunity. They didn't disappoint at all. The pigmentation is great, and because everything is mixed with gray, the palette feels really harmonious. It was very cold, so I decided to paint something cozy. And that's it. That's the final piece. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. It means a lot to me that you're accompanying me in this journey. It has been intense, but I'm learning a lot and I'm getting to use my almost forgotten art supplies. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss what I will do next. Share, like, comment, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Bye.